Should have scheduled this, but I don't know how to do that yet. Okay. This is for the benefit of whoever watches this later on. Oh, hello there. Hey girl. Can you hear music in the background? I've gone for some nice peaceful Gregorian chant in the background tonight. Hopefully it's going to chill us all the fuck out. Good. Is it too loud or is it alright? It's hard to know what the balance. Quite quiet, okay. I'll increase it slightly. I don't want it to be too loud. Okay, I'll get rid of that. Hopefully it's going to work. Okay, let's begin. Nice bit of Aberdale tonight. My ale of choice at the moment, because it's quite cheap. And I've got my old beer stein here, of course. Christ. It's too heavy for my delicate fingers. Oh, good. Cheers, lover. That's better. That's better. Okay. Cheers. See, that's almost a pint can. It only goes to there. I've got another can ready, but I didn't put it in just yet. My eyes look a bit. Not too bad. I thought they were looking a bit bloodshot. But we have already had a couple of, what was it, vodka martinis on empty stomachs. Only just getting over the shock of it. Quite delicious though. But it's just almost entirely vodka. Martini Ed. Oh yeah, once we ran out of vodka, we were just drinking vermouth. Delicious. Okay, that's better. Okay, tonight my goal is martini eyes. Indeed. I think they are slightly, I think they're okay. So you've had one too many as well, you see. Yes, the goal is ideally to get one subscriber, one new one. That would be nice. It's unlikely. So far we've got someone else there, but it's very best I put it like that. That's better. Oh yeah, it's another nice bit of monk singing in the background. And I'm drinking Abbot Ale. Perfect mix. I had another viewer, then they just scarpered instantly. Oh, it's going to be one of those hellish evenings, I think. Well, these are the harsh realities of streaming as an old man. There's no point in me talking too much at the moment. Although, of course, people may watch it on the old catch-up. So maybe I will say things now. Maybe I will. Or maybe I won't. Okay, I've got a couple of books I'm going to talk about a bit later, I think. If nothing else happens. Oh yeah, and this is my book. Here you go, it's my new one. There's no one there watching, but buy it. Okay. Yeah, so I've decided to do this stream slightly different this time. Normally I was doing it through YouTube, but you can't control much through that. And I liked the idea of having some soft music in the background, just to lighten the mood slightly. But yeah, you can't do that through YouTube Studio, as far as I can tell. Whereas the way I'm doing it now, I can control everything, if it fucking works. It was an absolute nightmare just getting this chat thing to work. And there's even down there, yeah, a viewer count, but I don't think it's very reliable. But anyway, gave it a go. Yeah, so, but the trouble is, I think there seems to be slightly more latency in terms of the data I'm getting about who's viewing potentially, or, you know, who's typing something, but it should be okay, hopefully. Okay, so I've got my vape as usual. And as I'd established on my previous live stream, the one that was fucking shocking, possibly only second to today's or tonight's live stream, is that the case of this is almost identical to a can of Heineken. Almost the same green and this stipple defect. Isn't that wonderful? But yeah, there we are. Okay, right, so I'm just going to talk to myself for a bit. So, yeah, I've written 2 books now of a trilogy, and I'm writing the 3rd, but I haven't started it yet. I still haven't started it. I think the sales of the first one were disappointing. The sales of the second one were fucking bleak. And so I've got to the point where some of my motivation's gone. Even though I will definitely still complete the series, I'm going to attempt to try and write it a lot quicker. Hopefully in a matter of months rather than years, because spending years on something that no one really wants to read is soul destroying, even though I quite enjoy the process and I'm proud of what I've achieved. At the same time, not having anyone read it kind of defeats the object in a way. Incidentally, this reminds me, years ago when I was I was working for Royal Mail as a data entry clerk, along with hundreds of other people. And every hour we'd have a 10-minute break. We'd all go to breakout areas to have a coffee or whatever for 10 minutes just to rest our fingers and our brains and eyeballs, because we're just hammering in postcodes and addresses constantly during that time. And one day this a series of spiral bound books appeared on one of the desks, and it was one of the other workers there, an old lady, and she had written all of these books, loads of them, and she just plonked them on the desk for people to read. I felt really sorry for her, but I'm starting to think I might be turning into that old lady. I'm not forcing my books on anyone, but at the same time I can see the futility of what she was trying to achieve. I think she said she'd written like 14 books or something. But I'm pretty sure this is before self-publishing, so she didn't really have a chance to really show her work then. So it was basically just hoisting them upon us workers. I don't think anyone was reading them, but I had a little go at it. But it wasn't my kind of thing. But yeah, yeah, poor woman. But you know, Christ, she had done 14 odd books, and you know, she was still going strong. So you have to use that, you know, that drive to achieve anything really. Not everyone has instant success, or any success for that matter, and that shouldn't deter you from creating something new. Rest has given me some jip today. Bastard thing. I mean, it's just all the painting I've been doing recently. Nothing else going on with that wrist. Anyway. Yeah, shall I talk about these books? Okay, so whatever I do from now on is going to be for the benefit of people watching this tomorrow or in the week, perhaps. Because at the moment, the only viewer I've got is Vanessa, who's in the other room. Hello, Vanessa. Right. I'll just show this. I mean, anyone that's watching this on the doodad, or they've already seen this, but I'll just show it again. There you go. It's the painting I'm working on at the moment. Entitled Oubliette, titled, and it's a poor little lady stuck in a little dungeon. Poor thing. But she'll eventually get out of there, I imagine. But anyway, there she is. Yes, hello there. I'm going to try, actually, an experiment. I'm going to try and boot you off the chat, Bird. I don't think I can, though. Let's have a look here. Oh, hello. Wait a second. No, I can't do it from there. Oh, hello, wait a minute. No. Okay, here we go. No, I can't do anything about it. Okay, so if we get any scoundrels later on today, I'm not going to be able to boot them off. So that could be a problem, but there, yeah. You know what that is? What? Okay, just gonna have to hope. There's definitely something going on here with the messages. If you kick me off. Bit of boost, isn't it? Don't worry, I can't kick you off anyway, if I wanted to. I'm trying. No, it's all tits up. There's probably a way, but I'm too stupid to work it out. Oh well. Cheers. Unhappy face. Have you got a cup of tea or something, Vanessa? Want some ale? Don't know why I bothered with this live stream. I could just go in the other room and just talk to her in person. Anyway, right, let's get on with this. Right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to talk about a couple of books I've read recently. Not the, well, I talked about it in my last video, and anyone watching this, just water. What the hell are you doing, girl? Come on. I need to follow up the martinis with some good stiff ales. Yeah, so I talked in my last video about, what are you doing, by the way? You watching the snooker, Vanessa? Yeah, on my last video I was talking about a book I just read that I didn't really like. Oh yeah, there's a delay going on. Yeah, there's going to be some latency here. So whatever I'm saying now is about 10 seconds difference, perhaps, depending on my connection. Yeah, there we are. Right, so yes, on my last video I talked about the book Talisman by Stephen King and Peter Straub. And if you've watched that video, you'll know I didn't really like it very much. I'd be interested to know if anyone does like the book. I found it quite a tedious and boring read. There was some it was quite imaginative in certain ways. Khan's watching about Amir Khan and his wife. Yeah, I'm not watching that. Yes, but largely there was some imagination there, but otherwise it was fairly uninspired. If it compared to something like, say, Imagica by Clive Barker, it was absolute crap. In fact, the writing style was quite off-putting, and that's one of the things that I don't think it was written by Stephen King at all, because certain passages or certain chapters would start with like a paragraph that references something that's going to happen later on in the chapter, and it's very off-putting. Yeah, and that's not something Stephen King normally does, and this was quite frequent. So that was off-putting. Towards the end, I thought the writing itself just deteriorated to the point where it was just crap. It was free, of course. Yeah, Vanessa got it for me from her previous work. She stole it, basically. Well, she didn't steal it. It was I don't know. It's for charity. But anyway, no, she was giving them books, and so it was kind of like a book swap, really. And she paid for some books as well. But anyway, it's all above board. But yeah, this is a book that really doesn't deserve to be paid for, really. I'm not suggesting you go out and steal the damn thing, but it's anyway, avoid or not. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, well, there we are. Okay, so, but I've read 4 books this year so far. I'm a bit of a slow reader, but I've been reading quite chunky ones. Talisman was 700 pages of my life that I would rather have back. But anyway, this other one, another sizable tome, is, well, we're in the mid 500s, is Dune, the classic James Herbert novel. I only read this recently, and there's the 80s film based on Dune by who directed it again? Normally does the surreal. Can't remember. But I quite liked that film, although it was slated at the time. It's got a kind of a cult following now. But I think it's because it didn't stick very rigidly to the book. So I'd have to watch it again to see how far it differs. And You Love People in the Trees too. That was another book that was awful. In fact, that was worse than Talisman. That was and that was another book that Vanessa recommended to me, shall I say. Brilliant concept, but terrible book, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But first of all, Dune. So then there's this new remake happening soon, and the release has been delayed due to COVID. I watched the trailer for it, and it looked very interesting, and it looked completely different to the 80s film. But it piqued my interest, and I thought, damn it, let's give it a go. And I really enjoyed it. One thing I will say, I mean, when was this written? I mean, it's quite old, isn't it? Yeah, first published in 1965. So yeah, it's incredible actually. And so a lot of things have probably, well, they haven't superseded it, but I mean, for 1965, this is quite incredible. I didn't know it was that old. The first thing I thought when I was reading it, when I got, I don't know, halfway through, was that it bared a striking resemblance to, what was it, Lawrence of Arabia. Because you've got basically, you could easily transpose the plot of Lawrence of Arabia to Dune in a way. You've got this boy from a culture that resembles Caucasian European, going into a desert. In this instance, it's a desert planet, and kind of helping an oppressed culture that has similarities to a Middle Eastern or like Persian feudal culture, and helping them from their oppressors, that kind of thing. That's a very, very basic way of describing it, but the similarities are apparent. I never looked into whether Lawrence of Arabia happened before or after, but I imagine they were around the same time. I can imagine that influence wasn't picked up before. I mean, it seems quite obvious, really. But anyway, what I really loved about it was that this is set thousands of years into the future, where you can see like cultural references are kind of blurred to the point where they've lost their meaning, and so there's reference to religion in certain ways, but it's skewed in such a way that it only bears the tenuous reference of where it's been derived from. Islamism and Christianity have been altered significantly, and various other things that are kind of mythologized. There's mythological references to things that that are lost in sands of time, but which we have now, I suppose. But anyway, Christ, I'm rambling like a bastard, and there's no one watching. But some very original ideas. The sandworms, of course, are synonymous now with Dune. If you haven't even read the book or even seen the films, you'll know about the giant Sandworms of June, I imagine. It's quite a striking idea for any kind of book, not least of which a science fiction novel. And we're talking about, and so the desert planet June is the only place in the known universe where the spice melange can be grown, and this is used for astronomical navigation or interstellar transport between planets. I always thought it was because it was some kind of fuel, but it's actually used by the navigators that run these ships to get to where they're going. In a way, it gives them a kind of a second sight. They can see into the future, or some bollocks I don't really understand, or I can't remember anyway. Tremors, yeah, well, Tremors is an absolute rip-off of June, really, but just on a smaller scale. But yeah, I mean, it's desert worms killing people. Whereas June, the worms they're not like a focal point. They're actually intrinsic to the production of the spice, but that's another thing altogether. But this isn't just a story about running away from worms. They play an integral part to the story itself. But yeah, I won't go too much into the actual story, because if you've read it, then, or if you want to read it, I don't want to spoil it. But anyway, yeah, there you go. That wasn't a review, by the way. I'm going to review this, but I'm going to prepare for it better. I'm just doing this off the back of my last remaining brain cell. Sandworms, yes, yes. Indeed. Right, I'm just going to have a little vape now, since there's no one watching other than Vanessa. One thing I would say about June, the size of the book suggests it's going to be a really epic tale, but it actually only covers a relatively short period of time. A lot of the pages are about detail, really, and that's one of the good things about it. You really believe what you're reading. It's very immersive in that sense, almost too much at times, I thought, but to the point where towards the end, the climax, something big happens, and very little is actually given over to describing it, which is unusual considering how much was given over to describing, the minutest detail previously. But that said, it was still brilliant, and I'm looking forward to reading the next 2 June books. There's actually a lot of other books that were written. I think some of them were written by James Herbert, or maybe his son, possibly, and some other people have written some books that take the idea, but I don't think they're supposed to be as good, so I'll probably avoid those. That's another thing that put me off reading it in the first place, because I looked at June novels about June, and it looked like there was about 8 of them, 8, 9, 10, something like that. I thought, bloody hell. The first one's like a bloody brick. I thought, there's no way in hell I'm getting into that. But I'm glad I did the first one, and I'll do the next 2. The new one or the old one? Because I remember the 80s film, the main character, the boy, whose name I've already bloody well forgotten. What's he called? So you can tell I'm not a... Paul, of course, Paul Atreides. He was played by the chap, I don't remember his name, but he was in Twin Peaks, Blue Velvet. So he was a go-to, what's he called? The director, Lynch, yeah. So he was in a lot of his films and series. Yeah, the new one, I don't actually know I didn't recognise anyone that was in the new one, other than the, so there's a kind of army that's that belongs to the Emperor, but they're used by the evil family of the Harkonnen. And they're kind of like a ruthless army of machines. They're not machines, they're men, but they're like super soldiers. And I think the one that plays one of those, if not all of them, because it might be like a clone army, was in Guardians of the Galaxy, the one, the blue chap. And I don't know his name either, because I just don't remember names of actors. But it looks like it will be a good film. The trailer's quite exciting, and the soundtrack is a kind of quite an orchestral arrangement of well, is it orchestral? I don't know, but of a Pink Floyd song. Because there was going to be a far more ambitious film made on June that was going to be like the ultimate film, and that was going to use the music. I think then was going to use the music of Pink Floyd. It was going to have Mick Jagger in it, and Salvador Dali I think was supposed to be in it as well. But yeah, it never saw the light of day because it was going to be too expensive to make. So this new one's supposed to be close to the book. Who knows? Who knows? The one thing I would say is the two things about the film that I remember from the 80s is firstly the lady who plays Paul's mother, who is a kind of a witch in a way. Not witch, I mean that's a derogatory term used in the book to describe her, but she's yeah, it's called Jessica. Anyway, Bene Gesserit is a kind of a religion, offshoot of Christianity, I think. I'm probably talking babbling bollocks, but it's just what I remember from reading it. But the woman that played her was really beautiful, and I remember when I watched it, I just thought, yes, she looks otherworldly. Anyway, there we are. The second thing is that a minute. The weapons that they use. So in the book, they use. It's kind of like Star Wars in that they're still using not swords as such. They use knives, but they also have like a field generator that they wear on their belt that creates a shield around them. A kind of shaped shield, and so it's hard to penetrate the shield. You wouldn't be able to do it with I think if you used to shoot a laser it'd just explode and kill everyone. So that it's a contrivance that allows these kind of medieval forms of combat to happen. And so in the 80s film, I thought that was done really well. It looked quite amazing, I thought. I've read things, people kind of taking the piss out of it now, but I think at the time, and even now, I think it's quite impressive the way they illustrated or tried to represent this idea of a shield surrounding you. And the new film, it shows a little bit in the trailer. I didn't think it was quite as impressive, not quite as dramatic, but I think that was what a lot of the criticism that was levelled at the old film, was that it was a bit too, you know, Star Wars had been popular and they just went a bit too nuts with the laser beams and shit. But there we are. Okay, so yeah, the other book that Vanessa's talking about, People in the Trees. I can't remember what the author was called now. But anyway, a previous work of hers was longlisted, I think, for the Man Booker Prize, but not this one. So The People in the Trees is a fairly odd account of a fictional scientist that discovers in a remote Polynesian island the secret of immortality, and it happens to be the secret is contained within the flesh of a very rare turtle, which once eaten gives you eternal life, but only your body. I mean, it allows your body to live forever, but it doesn't do anything for your mind. Your mind deteriorates over a period of time. Crikey, sorry, the sail it's got lumps in it. So the premise is very, very interesting. The actual execution of the story was really boring and laborious. So it's kind of narrated by the scientist years later when he's in prison for something. I'm not going to tell you what it's for, but just in case. Oh yeah, Hanya Yanagihara. Okay, because when I first saw that name, initially I thought it was a Japanese name, but it's definitely not. I think she was born in Hawaii, I think. But anyway, yeah, so the narration is from the scientist himself, but then you've got lots of footnotes that are written by the man's best friend, who's kind of doctoring it slightly, or giving us extra information in the form of these little footnotes, which appear all the way through the fucking thing. And there's loads of them, and they're in this tiny little script in italics. And whilst they do add more information, in an attempt to make the book appear more believable, I suppose, as though it's an actual record or an actual document that existed, they become very, very tedious to read, to the point where you get to one. I got to one footnote and I was just tedious. Yeah, I was reading it, turned the page, and lo and behold, the next double spread was filled up with this fucking footnote. Across the 2 pages, I almost burnt the book there and then on a candle. Anyway, that aside, it just is a bit tedious. I found it tedious to read. It's not just because I read mostly science fiction and fantasy. It's just that it was fucking boring. The ending is intriguing, and it makes you raise perhaps 1 or 2 eyebrows, but in fact it's quite demented. If you're not going to read it, I won't spill the beans here, but it's pretty demented. Just look it up on Wikipedia and you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, that was shit. So yeah, so far I've read 4 books this year. 2 have been crap and 2 have been bloody good. So I think I'm doing all right on balance. I'll talk about the second one in a moment. But we are almost 40 minutes in and we got no people watching. What the fuck is going on? It could be that I've made a fucking mistake and no one's able to bloody... Oh my god, did I make it private? Wait a second. I don't even know. It's made me think now, because I was practicing earlier and I made them... No, it should be observable. Let's have a look here. Yeah, it's public. Yeah, it's just people don't want to see it. Oh, hell. Well, anyway. This is for you, dear viewer, who watches it the next day, or whenever. See, I was almost desperate then, thinking, shall I get someone to come and watch it just to give me an overview? And I thought, that's just sad. Right, I'm opening another can and I'm going to add it to the mix. I'm just going to whack it in. Let's get a nice head on this. That's what I'm talking about. Real ale, or is this classed as real ale? I don't know. It's not known for its headage, but check this motherfucker. Okay, we've gone on to some other music now. What the hell is this? No, it's still on the Gregorian shit. I'm not sure where I stand here on what do you call it, on copyright infringement. I know that it's normally okay as long as you don't monetize, and obviously there's no way in hell I'm ever monetizing any of my videos, so hopefully I'll be safe, but you just don't know, do you? Indeed. I do need a straw. It's going to be around for a while, that. Be right back. Or a flake. I just went in the other room and Vanessa was watching me on her phone, and I was able to see myself on the phone because of the latency. It's quite magical. Oh hell. I do wonder if I'm doing something wrong though, because I mean, I think because I'm using this other thing as an intermediary between YouTube, perhaps I'm not getting people happening upon it. I would have thought you would, but anyway. I mean, last time I got some random fellow that wasn't really wanted, but at least there was someone new there. Anyway, there we are. Okay, right. We'll talk about this other book now. Roadside Picnic by Arkady Boris Strugatsky. Gatsky? Yeah. Polish. I think they were Polish. Brothers. Yeah, brothers. This is the only one I've read of theirs. But it's absolutely brilliant. I'm going to do a review of this one as well. And guess what? It got 5 out of 5 stars. I think I gave June 4 out of 5, maybe. I don't know. But this is incredible. I'm not going to review it as such. I'm just going to talk about it a little bit. But so if you've read a lot of science fiction, if you're slightly jaded about science fiction after having read so much of it, something like this will blow your fucking mind. It's so clever. And so I'll just give you the premise really, but basically it's about an alien visitation on Earth. So the aliens have come and gone before we even know it, but what they've left behind is areas where reality has been totally skewed. So they call them zones, I think. There's about 5 of them. And because it was written by these Polish authors, I've always imagined this being in some remote part of Eastern Europe, perhaps. But I wonder whether it was actually set in America. I don't think it was. But anyway, that's the way I was imagining it. And there's certain areas where, and so the military, wherever this is, have kind of fenced these areas off, and you're not allowed to go in them because they're dangerous for one thing. In fact, they're lethal. but people still want to go in there because there's lots of artifacts that have been left behind by whatever aliens have been there, been and gone. And so there's things that, like say eternal batteries that never lose their charge, things like that, but other really wondrous things that can be found amongst the deadly zone, in these deadly zones. And so it recounts, a lot of it's about one of these chaps that illegally goes in there. They're called stalkers, and so there was a film actually made based on the book called Stalker, which I watched some of once, but I never finished. It's quite a long film. Anyway, he goes in to occasionally try and get some of the illegal booty. And the story is kind of about him and about humanity in general and how they react to what's happened. And all that shit. I'm not going to talk too much about it now because I'm going to review it properly when I haven't been drinking vodka martinis and ale. Okay, we've still got some more Gregorian chant to go, so let's keep it going. Oh dear. Cheers to no one. This is a plate I designed as a child. There you go. Parents gave it to me last time I saw them, last week, because they're moving house, so we had to get rid of the last of our stuff. This is one of my first artworks. Check that shit out. Got a bloody what do you call it? A dash cam there on the shelf. Nostravia. Cheers. Hey girl. What was I saying? Oh yeah, dash cam. Got it for my birthday last year. Still haven't used it. Anyway, I'm going to juggle now. Yeah, bit of entertainment. Check that shit out. what I'll do is I'll do it for the next 10 minutes. If no one else comes, I'm just going to stop. Oh dear. Any new viewers? No. Just heard a gentleman walking past asking someone for drugs on the phone. There we are. What's that? Oh, it's a clapping. I'll be in a minute, Brad. There's another little painting there. It's just a cloud. I've just done it in, what is it, burnt sienna or something like that. Just trying a different way of painting, using a different colour to work over the top of. Apparently, what is it? I can't remember what the technique's called, because fucking losing my mind. Imprimatura, something like that. Yeah, imprimatura. Bit of that. Can I show you something else? This is my old pencil case from when I was a child. Well, not a child. I was at school, I guess. It's got pencils in it. What else? I've got two easels. This is my big beast, and it's got a light on the top, on a gooseneck, so I can move it around. I think using this is what's been buggering up my wrist, to be fair, because I've got to. My wrist doesn't like certain positions, right? Like this position here. So I think that's causing me pain. I've also got this little one here that I use sometimes, that I put on the desk over there. That's slightly better, but better still is just putting the canvas flat on the desk and just doing it as I would a drawing, and not having to bend my wrist as much. You know, that kind of wrist action is just no good. What else have I got here? This is one I showed the other on my last video. Lady of the Lake. I can show you slightly better. Oh my god. Yeah, it's still drying, but all of this is already dry. Like that. So another thing you've got to be careful about with oils is if you're using layers, you've got to be very careful. What is it? Fat over lean, and it's. Oh, thank you. Yeah, bit of juggling there. Yes, fat over lean. So the first layers that you apply, they can be watered down with solvent or whatever. The layers that follow can then be thicker, but you can't do it the other way around. If you've done a thick layer and then you try to use a glaze, well, you know, just a solvent based thinning of a paint, it may look fine to begin with, but a couple of months down the line, there's a good chance you're going to get cracking of that top layer, because the layers dry at different times. I mean, so that thick impasto layer that I've put of the yellow, this yellow is very thick and it's dry to the touch, but underneath it's going to be still wet, and it's going to take months for that to dry. And so the different drying times between layers can cause cracking. So you've got to be careful of that if you're thinking of getting into oil painting. Less fraught with these dangers are of course using other mediums such as acrylics or gouache or watercolour, or just digital. That's what a lot of people do now, isn't it? They use a stylus and Photoshop or Procreate or whatever, and you haven't got to fuck around with that kind of thing. But I started out before the internet existed, before all of this technology. Oh, thank you very much. Before this technology existed, and so I'm entrenched in the traditional mediums now, and I can't really get out. I'd like to fuck around with a bit of digital one day, but I do prefer just getting dirty, you know, getting oil paint under your fingernails and on your bloody clothes. And I've got it all over my bloody clothes and everywhere else on the carpet as well. Right, we are approaching an hour, and if I don't get another viewer soon, I'm gonna fucking end it. I mean, I don't mind talking to myself, but it's bloody hard sometimes trying to think of things to say. Bear with me. I'm going to look at something. Yeah. Unbelievable. Waiting for the witch painting. Indeed, indeed. Well, Vanessa, you're going to help me with that. Oh, hey! It's Maria the Primrose Fairy. Hello there. Well, I'll be darned. Got another bloody viewer. How's it going, girl? Yeah, that took me an hour or two to try to make those come on the screen. I thought it would be nice, you know, because I noticed last time I did this, when it was uploaded as a video, it didn't show all of the comments, so I was talking about things that didn't show up. Yes, and then we've got some Gregorian chanting in the background. I wanted to turn this into like a monk's retreat, so to speak. Oh, we just run out. I'll tell you what, let's put something else on. I'm probably going to get copyright shagged for this, but it's tricky, isn't it? Because I'm nicking people's stuff in a way, but I'm not getting money from it, so what can you do? What can you bloody do? See, the problem is, the risk is that one thing is that a copyright strike is fair enough, but what they can do is totally erase a section of, and it would just be silence. So. Tea or wine? Fucking wine, innit? Come on, get a bit of wine in ya. That's it. And then come over here. Right, let's get, I'll tell you what, this is probably going to trigger some shit, but I'm going to put on the soundtrack to Broken Sword 1, Shadow of the Templars. It's just random music from the game. This may trigger something, but hell, who cares? A fantastic game, by the way. Point and click adventure from, crikey, when? Late 90s? I don't know. She's already on the wine, isn't she? Yeah, it's just I found this it's like almost 3 hours of Broken Sword music. I think it's all of the music that plays at different parts of the game. Yeah, birds on the old water now. Disgraceful. A few scallywags outside tonight. Just hope they don't start pissing against the door. So I have to get my rolling pin out. And that isn't a euphemism for my cock. Ah, indeed. Yeah, so the Primrose Fairy is my sister. And with my two sisters and Vanessa and me, we are the Bearded Ladies. That's our quiz team from the days when we used to be able to do pub quizzes. No longer. But hopefully that'll be back again soon. But anyway, our local pub just up the road. They're open again, so we are going to be going there next week for a couple of pints as a reunion, because we're not allowed to see each other at the moment. Although, you know, we're kind of in a bubble really, but we're very safe. We don't see each other. But when I say bubble, I mean we should, you know, you're allowed to have a bubble and all that shit, because me and Vanessa don't see anyone else, so you're allowed 6 and all that. So, but we're very good. I mean, I've had one half of the I've had the AstraZeneca vaccine, which made me feel like shit the next day, but anyway, but Vanessa isn't protected yet, and my sisters haven't had it yet either. But if it's going to get anyone, it'll probably be me, because I'm a vulnerable old man. Yeah, I'm going to play, I think I'm going to do that soon, do long play of Broken Sword, because I've got all of the Broken Sword games now. Vanessa got them for me for my last birthday, but I was going to wait until the autumn to play that, but I am 2 cans ahead, although I haven't finished this yet. It is starting to take effect, and it's 5% as well. But yeah, I'll Tell you, I think I need a Werther's Original to fucking pep myself down a bit. It's weird because I think I can hear myself in the other room from Vanessa watching me on her phone, and the delay is making me go a bit mad. Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to playing that, Maria. Yeah. See, what do you think, Maria? I was going to wait until autumn to play it to fit in with the autumn atmosphere, but maybe I should just go on and play the bloody thing anyway, and then you can watch it during autumn. Good luck with that. She will not come in. Just retrieving my balls from the floor. Yeah, I think so too. The only other issue I've had though is because I've got all of the Broken Swords now, but including the remasters. So number 1 and number 2 have been remastered. But I've tried playing them. Oh, she's in her PJs. Yeah, she ain't gonna come out. Person Fall. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's the problem. I think that the remastered ones are quite interesting because there's extra scenes, there's extra puzzles to solve, and the graphics are better. But it doesn't have the classic intro with George Stobart saying about coming to Paris and the Fall and all that stuff. It starts with Nicole instead. Nicole. And it only cuts to George once he gets to the cafe. You don't really hear him doing his intro, which is disappointing. So if I do play it, I may play the remaster just to see what the extra scenes are like. And then, but I might cut in the original intro as well, just to get that bit of spice there. The other problem with the remake, the remastered versions, is that it kind of, they help you too much. It makes so clues kind of flash a bit. So, you know, for people that can't fucking think, it makes you click on certain things, which is annoying. And the other thing is you can't die in the game, whereas the original, you can. There's various ways of dying, like at the hotel. If you don't climb out the window and you go out the main doors, the gangsters shoot you, and that's the end of the game. The remake, I don't think they let you do that. So, well, they've made 5. So there's Broken Sword, then there's Smoking Mirror, it's the second one. The third one is Dragon, something about a dragon. And then there's 2 more. I think Mitch has played them. Yeah, and he said they were fairly good, but I think he had the same problem that I've just he was saying about the same problem where they kind of help you too much. Whereas the first one was rock hard, especially the goat part where you've got to get past the goat. I mean, that took us hours to get past, and in the end it was just a fluke because it was a really stupid way of getting past the goat. Yeah, there's some more. So yeah, I bought. Well, Vanessa got it from me for my birthday last year, but I managed to get like a special deal. I got the whole bundle for, I don't know what it was, 20 quid, something like that. So all 5 games, really good. And they've really improved the graphics as well, especially the first 2 games. But brilliant feel to those ones. Really love those games. I've completed the first one. So we completed it first on the PlayStation back in the late 90s or early 2000s, can't remember. Then I completed it again on PC when I lived in Bath. Then completed it a third time when I lived on my own in the bedsit when I first moved to Exeter, because I was a fucking loner and I didn't know anyone. And I'm going to complete it a fourth time, so I should be able to do it. I still remember it quite well. So I remember the goat part. Do you remember when Papa was trying to help you? Yes, I do mean that moment. So Papa is what we called our mother's father, what you would traditionally call your grandfather or your granddad. We called him Papa. We thought he was Scottish, but he was actually an Englishman that moved to Scotland and very quickly adopted a Scottish accent. But he was round one day and he was trying to help us with this puzzle with the goat, and he was trying to offer us some suggestions, but unfortunately he didn't really know how games worked, so he was saying things like I don't know, feed him some food from whatever or whatever, you know, things that you just couldn't do. But yeah, dear chap, he just didn't really understand how games worked then. But yeah, anyway, estranged grandfather. We don't talk to him anymore. There we are. Ooh. Tell you what, if Papa comes on this stream now, I'll take all of my clothes off and run down the street naked. Okay? There you go. There's a challenge. Magic. What the heck? I'm going to hell for this. Oh, this vape's going down smooth. Yeah, Maria, so check this shit out, right? So we got this, fuck's sake, it's reversed. So yeah, the comments go there. I've got a viewer count there, and we're fucking nailing it at the moment on 2. And also there's something else. I think it will pop up if someone were to subscribe, and there would be a thing that flashes up. Exciting stuff. Don't feel as though you have to watch this, though, Maria. I know this is an act of mercy on your part, I imagine, because got fucking terrible numbers today. But yeah, so don't worry, because if you want to bimble on your way, I'll just yeah, I've kept it as small as possible. Probably better that it's not there at all, actually. Yeah, do it. I'm sure you'd fare better than me. Yeah, it's quite easy to do. I'll show you. Well, I'll show you when we meet up at the pub next. But yeah, well, I say it's easy. It's not actually that easy. I mean, well, it probably is easy if you're not totally deranged like me. But yeah, there's this kind of widget crap is a bit more of a bastard, but bloody loving it. I saw Robin today and I feel like I'm in a dream. What do you mean by that, Maria? A sexy dream? I think you need to elaborate on that. This Werther's original is lasting forever. I've got a whole jar of them over here. I'll show you actually. When you hit 41, you buy a jar of fucking Werther's originals, and it's the death knell. It means that you're fucking dying soon. Oh, hello. Maria's got the feels for Robin. Yeah, be careful, Maria. This is gonna be on YouTube forever. Oh, hell. I'm just going to show this. You've already seen it, Maria, and so is Vanessa, and probably everyone else that's going to watch this is, but I'll show it anyway. It was just over there, so I thought I'd bring it up. It's a painting I'm working on. Let's bring it close as a mother. So the figure there, you'll notice, has a very odd looking head. And that's because I've decided not to. I've let the underpainting show through of this kind of terracotta kind of colour, because it shows well when you put a kind of white colours over the top. It kind of shines through, gives it a kind of luminosity. But where the head would be, I don't need that, so that's just going to be a fairly dark shower of hair. So I've decided to leave that be. You have to consider these things when you're working in layers. Well, I do anyway. I just make it up as I go along. Haha. Well, polos. True. I eat polos like Pac-Man nailing pills on a fucking game board. But I haven't got any at the moment. I keep raiding. Vanessa's got a polo drawer full of polos, and occasionally I just steal them. But I've moved over to Werther's for the time being. Sugar-free ones. Yeah, I can't really show you my paintings, Maria, because they're all wet. That one is dry on the sides. I can't show you the others because they're wet. I paint them all around the outsides, so I wouldn't be able to touch them. Yeah, sorry, old girl, can't do that. Oh, this bit of the soundtrack is from the hotel. The old lady that's playing the piano. This sounds like a better version of the one we used to play. Thanks, lover. Yeah, they're okay. Yeah, I'm trying to keep improving. But I'm terrible when I'm painting. Vanessa can attest to this. Oh, hello, Holly. How's it going, girl? Yeah, Vanessa can attest to this. I become a bit deranged when I'm painting, and I don't know. I kind of I doubt myself constantly. What have you been doing today? Today. Well, working out how to do this mostly. I've also really got into watching the Netflix documentary on Formula One. It's really good. I've been watching that a lot every day. Highly recommend it. Mitch would love it actually, Holly. I don't know if you've got Netflix, but oh, it's really great. On telly, crikey. Have the girls gone to bed? Because yeah, they must be in bed by now. That's good. Because I've got a bit of a potty mouth, as you know. Shit, we're up to 4 viewers. It's Salt! Hey, man! How's it going? Long time no here. Drinking some kava for belated anniversary. No Netflix, I'm afraid. Ah, that's a shame. We'll have to lend you ours for a bit or something. Just just to watch the first one at least. Because yeah, Mitch would cream in his pants, I'm pretty sure. It is so good. The trouble is with Formula One, we used to follow it a lot back in the day, but it's always who's got the fastest car. So at the moment it's always Hamilton winning, which is good for the UK. Yeah, it's great. English driver and all, but it's a bit boring, a bit predictable. But this documentary allows you to get to know the drivers that are competing in the middle of the field. And it's so interesting and it's so competitive. Really, really good. Yeah, it's my new vape. It's a Rigel, Smock Rigel. My other one bit the dust. It was the top was breaking off and the ohm rating was going haywire, which means gives you a shit vape. So I bought this one, quite cheap, 30 quid. It's a bit, occasionally it goes a bit mad, but it's probably because I vape it like a bastard. Yeah, what's cooking, Zolt? How are you doing? I saw your latest drawing on Facebook today. In fact, this vape is, I said earlier, it's exactly the same colour. That's what the pros do. They go like that, don't they? Same colour and kind of design as a Heineken can. Copyright infringement. Got 4 viewers. That is fucking incredible. Okay, so Vanessa, Salt, Maria, Holly. We couldn't celebrate on the day because Mitch was working and I had minor surgery. Fun times. 9 years married though. Mental. Indeed, 9 years. That's a wonderful number. Got you on the TV. Holly's got you on her phone. Now I'm on my phone too. Okay, that's where the extra review was coming from. Fuck yeah, Mitch. That's how you do it. Pump up those numbers. It's odd because the last time I did one in the midweek and I got that strange chap there. But when I did it before, there's quite a few people just happening upon it. But today it's not happening. I was talking to myself for the first hour. And Vanessa, I was talking to her as well. Yeah, Mitch, have you heard about that F1 documentary? Tell you what, I'll move the... no, shall I? I've got 5 viewers now, somehow. If you happen upon me on this channel, please message, and you shall be welcomed with wild abandon. That's okay, I don't mind. Yeah, I've had a couple of, we were drinking vodka martinis earlier on an empty stomach, and so it's already a bit drunk, and then 2 cans through some 5% ale. So yeah, I'm a bit noodled. Oh, and the soundtrack in the background is from The Broken Sword. First game of the Broken Sword series. Shadow of the Templars. Mitch knows these games well. I believe he's played all of them. Zolt, have you ever played any of those games? The Broken Sword ones? Only heard it from you, but will defo watch it when I resubscribe to Netflix. Got the qualifying to watch later. I watched that actually earlier. Yeah, see, I'm totally back into Formula One after watching that documentary. It was 3 series, each one doing a different year. I think it goes 2018 to 2020. But yeah, I'm back in it now. Yeah, it's good. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it was, yeah, quite exciting. Mitch had a few drinks before the carver, so he'll probably fall asleep on the sofa later. I imagine he will, Holly. You'll be waking him up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you bear with me a moment, I need to drain my portobello mushroom. Won't be long. Oh. What's been going on here? Agree about when you're painting Debbie Downer. I'll talk about that in a second. Zolt, which game? You know, the Broken Sword games, the point and click adventure games. I think you must know of them. You do have a very good knowledge of retro games. It's a point and click game. It was the game that followed Lure of the Temptress as the next game they made. Sofa not safe. Haha, indeed. Yeah, we've got a big safe in the front room now. I keep falling asleep on top of it. Mitch is being very naughty there. Yeah, Vanessa's saying, so yeah, when I'm painting, I become a bit of a fucking nightmare. I become a tortured artist type. And oh shit, it's going wrong and all this. But I rarely get violent. I've only destroyed one canvas that I've worked on back along. I put a knife through it. Yeah, it wasn't a knife. I can't remember what I did. Yeah, I think it was a knife. I just, I just had enough of it. It wasn't a knife. It was a, basically the canvas was fucked. I just totally buggered it up. Yes, that's right. I was working on creating a, what do you call it? A mask to shield a bit off, using a scalpel, and the scalpel went in a little too deep, and it was only a tiny nick, but if you expose the actual raw material of the canvas, the unprimed canvas, to oil, all hell breaks loose later on, like years later. It can cause problems. So I thought, fuck it, and I just ripped the whole thing to shreds and then smashed it to pieces under my foot. You become a bit of a git, as Frank Skinner would say. Indeed, yes, yes. I am. It's best avoided, to be honest. Best avoided. It's good that I've got my own little space here because I can rant and rave. Yeah, and no one gets involved. Although I don't go too mental, but I just get really depressed. It's a weird thing. I know I can paint to a certain standard, but every time I start a new painting, it's like I don't know. It's like I've never done it before. And every brush stroke I make is a fucking travesty, and I want to fucking jump out the window. But it's only towards the end, when I start tying it up and it starts working, that I get a bit better. I wish I could have witnessed your canvas rage, Jim Bob. I'll film it next time, but it's not pleasant. Yeah, I really took that canvas out. I mean, I fucking I put a cap in its ass. Yeah, first with a scalpel and then a damn good kicking. I imagine he channeled Nicolas Cage somewhat. But then you like the painting again the next day. Well, that's true. I mean, yeah, I just become a bit fucking, it's go a bit fucking nuts. But yeah, Nicolas Cage, I just switch and then I'm like Nicolas Cage from any of his films where he goes fucking apeshit. I think your spelling was alright there, Holly, wasn't it? Oh, channeled? I don't know. I can't spell anyway. But yeah, I do lose my rag occasionally. But as Bob Ross says, when possible, you should make love to the canvas. So when possible, I do get, I get a bit randy with it. But, sometimes it goes the other way and it just goes to hell. I mean, art should be a therapeutic endeavour. I mean, it should be something you do to relax. And often I'm just in my zone, and hours pass, and I don't realise the time's passing. Other times, I'm fighting the bastard, fighting to the death. And I think it's just the idea that you're wasting time. Imagine spending 7 hours on a painting and then it starts going awry. You know, it's just the worst thing ever for me. Are the girls okay, Mitch and Holly? Christ, I haven't seen them for ages. Yeah, mustard shit. Yeah, it's something it's a mannerism I've picked up from Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street. That bit. And then he's saying that Leonardo needs to wank more. And he's saying about mustard shit. You know, all these numbers and shit. Mustard shit up here. Maybe you need to sleep with the canvas. Have it next to you under the duvet. I think it would cooperate after that. Perhaps, Maria. Perhaps, yes. Yeah, I might try that next time. Give it a bit of a rogering in the bed, as long as it doesn't mind it, of course. Yeah. Nice idea. Happy little accidents, indeed. I tell you what, though. I mean, Bob Ross is... I think he's derided a lot by people. He's easy to take the piss out of, but he fucking he knew. Just don't worry too much. Just do it. And that's... Me and Vanessa we watched Bob Ross a lot during the lockdown, and just to calm me down. And that's one thing I took from it, is just do it. And that's when I started painting again. Okay, girls are good, J-Man. Heidi says so many words now, and it's becoming easier to understand more about what she wants. Amber and Lucy are back to school Monday. Damn. Growing up too fast, indeed. Damn. Say hello to them for me. Yeah, I miss seeing them. Use your doodle as the paintbrush. Don't tempt me, Maria. By the way, I'm just starting one more can. Sorry, Vanessa, I had raided the fridge. This is the last one I'm having because I'm already fucking nailed. I'll tell you what, let's get a nice head on this. Shit it out. Check this shit out. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Beard wanted a drink. Hell, that was 100% froth. Our beard's gonna smell like a brewery later. Vanessa, you got that to look forward to. There is actually an artist that uses their penis as a brush, actually. He's quite famous for it. And I've seen other artists that do the same thing, but for slightly more dodgy effects. So, you know, covering young ladies in paint and having them cavort upon a canvas, so that you see their nether regions imprinted upon the canvas. But yeah, I think the penis could easily be used as a brush. In fact, occasionally I look at paintings and I think, shit, my cock could do better than that, but, you know. Right, who's happy with the Broken Sword soundtrack continuing, or do you want something else? Just tell me what you want and I'll put the fucker on. Pencil Dick would be an amazing tool in that respect. Unfortunately, my fucking great cucumber is really hard to control as a painting implement. If only that were true. It's more like a fucking cocktail stick. But it's great for fine detail. Oh. V-Bird, lock the door and make him sleep on the sofa. I think I did hear a door lock earlier, so I think she's safe. Oh, no, she can't lock it. We got Beard coming later, girl. Is yours like the monster from Willow? Yes, it is, Maria. It's got 2 heads, and it looks a little bit like this. That kind of thing. Oh, rats! That is the catchphrase of George Stobart, of course, from the Broken Sword franchise. Fucking love George Stobart. Just wedge a chair under the handle. It's alright. Oh, we haven't got an axe. No, I can't get through. Mitch, you've played... have you played the remastered versions of Broken Sword 1 and 2? I need a vape. And makeup brushes for painting, indeed. Yes, of course, Vanessa. I forgot to say about that. So when Vanessa's done with a makeup brush, like the one that you apply this kind of shit to on your face, it's a big brush. What is it? Blusher? I don't know. Anyway, when she's finished with it, I use it as a paintbrush. Here's one of them here. And as you can see, it's a very livid blue because I've been using it for painting. It's really good as a blending brush, actually. There you go. There's a tip there for anyone that's watching this another day. If you make it this far, God knows how you ever did it, but if you make it this far, here's a little tip. Great for blending, but the hairs are so fine that eventually it gets a bit shagged. This one's been a bit buggered. Ooh, fucking hell. I've washed it, but it's still yeah, it's still there, and it stiffens the hairs. When the hairs are stiffened, forget about it. But anyway, yeah. Who am I looking at here? Just away. Oh dear, I almost missed the stream. Hello there, Shipador. Nice to have you here. Sorry, I haven't been around the old Discord the Discord server recently. I actually messaged Viper today, but yeah, sorry, it's kind of denigrated. It's gone. Wash it with baby shampoo and conditioner. Well, that's actually not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, fluff it up a bit. Yeah, the old brush there. Don't think I've played the remastered versions, just PC versions of the original 2 games. The first 3D game, Sleeping Dragon, I think, and the PS4 new game. Okay. Yeah, because I was saying earlier, I've got the whole set of games now. I'll check what I've got. But yeah, they remastered the first 2. So I've got the remasters, the first 2, Sleeping Dragon. The Angel of Death is the 4th one, and the 5th one is the Serpent's Curse. Have you played both of those? Yeah, sorry, Shipador. At the beginning of the stream, I'm slightly more coherent, and I talked about a couple of books that I've read recently, but I'm afraid I've drunk one too many beverages since, and yeah, I'm not all there, to be honest. Yeah, brush. So looking after oil paint brushes is a tricky business. And they're very expensive to buy. And because I'm a cheapskate, and I am actually quite poor, I tend not to buy too many of them. So for Christmas, I think Kurt got me some brushes. So he got me these fan brushes. I've got, I think, 5 or 6 of these, different sizes. They're quite useful for certain effects, but I don't use these as often. And I've got various other brushes. Sometimes, so this brush here is what you would call a shagged brush. So this one has dried paint on it, and I've let it dry on there just so that it has a texture. Then you can use it as a kind of a stamp almost. Otherwise, I've got some flats. That's a flat one. And these are some of the ones I use normally. It's just a few different ones. There's a couple more flats. And that's a fairly fine pointed one. These fine ones, it's a very long handle. I don't know why they're so long. Very expensive. So you have to take good care of them. You can ruin a brush in one day, you know, if you don't take care of it. You've got to, well, there's various ways of doing it, but one thing I've discovered, well, actually, Dad told me about this. Use baby oil. It's a really good way of preserving the brush. I use it for cleaning them as well. Oh no, it's all right. Oh, good. Yeah, sorry about that. Must have missed number 4, I think. Serpent's Curse is one I played on PS4. Okay. Yeah, you've missed one out, Mitch. Yeah, so, yeah, The Angel of Death. That's the one I've got. I've got, yeah, I bought, no, Vanessa got them for my birthday last year. Got a pack of them, so 5 games for, I don't know what it was, 20 quid or something. It's quite a good deal, really. Now the soundtrack is at Ireland. You know, when you go in the pub and there's that chap playing the violin. Oh, brilliant game. Love that first game. Yeah, Zolt's gone AWOL. Yeah, weird thing. Yeah, going back to oil painting. I don't know if anyone's interested or gives a damn about it, but so oil paint's very hard to get out of brushes. So the way I was taught at school, which is probably wrong, I don't know, is use detergent, soap, wash it out. That's not enough. Ideally, use solvent. So you use whatever solvent you're using. I use sand soda, turpentine, but without the smell. Probably still lethal, but there we are. I'll talk about the lethality, how lethal it is in a moment. But yeah, so get as much as you can out with the solvent. Then use a bit of baby oil, and that will get shitloads out. Then use some detergent to get the rest out. Even then, you'll never get all of it out, and eventually it will shag the brush up. But you can, I mean, that fine pointed one that I use for very fine detail, I've had for a long time now. And gradually the hairs are disappearing from it, but there's nothing you can do about that. Talking about how lethal it is, you've got to be very careful. I've seen other painters using rubber gloves when they're painting, and I imagine it's because they are worried that it will go through their skin or something. Maybe it does, I don't know. I was never taught that, so perhaps it does. But another problem you can have if you're a vapor like me, and sometimes I paint with my vape in my hand, and I'm painting like this and doing this. The problem is sometimes paint can go down the fucking nozzle of your vape. I've had that happen once because I was cleaning it out and there's paint in it. It's not good. I mean, you could possibly vape turpentine, which would probably be amazing, but it would probably kill you. Anyway, right, have I missed things here? I'm off to bed. Absolutely shagged. Nice chatting, J-Man. Enjoy the beer and chat. Cheers, Holly. Thanks for watching. Oh, we're down to 3 viewers. Oh dear. Well, I don't know. I'll go when I've finished my beer, I reckon. So, but don't worry, you haven't got to hang around anyone. If you want to pop off, do not worry about it. I don't mind at all. Tell you what, I'll show you my palette. There you go. Check this shit out. Never shown anyone this before. Got a traditional shaped palette. So I bought this about 12 years ago when I first started oil painting, and I wanted this shape because I knew that, you know, this is the proper shape. But obviously you can use whatever you like as a palette. There's no particular, I don't know, order of where I put paint as such. I just put it wherever the hell it wants to be. But the interesting thing is that no matter how well you clean your palette, eventually you get various stains, and it makes a really interesting, look at that. I mean, I couldn't do an abstract painting like that if I tried. It's really, some really nice colours in there. I mean, the only way to really get that off would be to sand it down back to the wood. I think it's just a piece of like ply, really. That's the underside. Yeah. Yeah, it's had, I mean, I've been using that for years, so I try to clean it as well as I can, but yeah, you can't get it all off. Another problem is, I mean, I still consider myself, I'm definitely an amateur, and I never know how much paint to use. So I use these great big blobs of paint, which is really wasteful. The good thing about oil is that it takes a long time to dry. So this paint will, you know, once you peel the skin off, it'll still have a nice nugget of paint underneath, so you can reuse it. But I remember when my dad used to paint, or our father, whoever siblings are still here, he would only use very tiny pieces of paint because it was so expensive, and it is still expensive. But about 10 years ago I bulk buyed a load of the stuff, and so I just use it willy-nilly. I don't really care. So the last 10 years or so I've been using the same paint. It lasts forever. That's one of the things people don't, like proponents of digital art, they look on oil painting as an expensive thing, but it's not really. The outlay initially is quite a bit. I suppose I spent about £120 on all the paint initially, but it's lasted me more than 10 years. Whereas, you know, if you're a digital artist, you've got to buy a computer. I mean, that outlay dwarfs what you would pay in terms of oil paint. But there we are. Nice. Let's see Paul Allen's palette. That's a reference to American Psycho, yeah? Is it that? I don't know. Anyway. I'm trying to think of a quote from American Psycho, but I can't. It's quite a funny one. Yeah, that's right. Just before he puts the axe in, I think it might have been, I can't remember whose head it is. Try and get what is it? Try and get a reservation at Dorcier's now, you fucking asshole. Axe in the head. Quite funny. Stoley on the rocks. Have you ever read the book, Mitch? Of yeah, American Psycho. I've read that, and also Less Than Zero by the same author. What's it called? Bret Easton Ellis? Something like that. I don't know. Less Than Zero is a very odd book indeed. There's a very, very unpleasant scene in it, which I won't talk about. But it sometimes you read something that's so unpleasant that you just can't get out of your head. And whenever I think of American Psycho, I think of this horrible bit in this book. Shipador, if you don't mind me asking, what's your real name? Or, yeah. Yeah, the book, it was a lot more disturbing than the film. In fact, they wouldn't have been able to make a film directly based on the book, would they? Because it was quite demented at times. One thing that springs to mind is a rat, and that scene would never have been allowed. But yeah, Less Than Zero, they couldn't have made they could have made a film of it. It would have been bloody horrible, but. Okay, if anyone can hear me, well, I guess you can. It says on my thing that 4 people are still viewing, so if you could, each of you just say hello on the chat so I know who's here. Otherwise, yeah, I'm just interested to know who's here, really. Okay. See you, bird. I'll see you a bit later with a nice beer-flavoured beard for you. See you later. See you, girl. Vanessa, if anyone doesn't know, is my partner, and she's over there somewhere in another room. Yeah, the rat scene, also where he wounds a child. Oh yeah, in a crowd, pretends he's a doctor, then kills him. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, hello there. Hello from Russia. Primrose is still here. Hello there from Russia. Sorry, I can't read your name. It's in Cyrillic. Is there an English version of your name in English letters? Yeah, I forgot about that scene. Yeah, it's towards the end, isn't it? In American Psycho with the child. Yeah, that would never be allowed in the film. But the film was brilliant. I mean, let's face it. And Christian Bale wasn't the initial casting for that film. I think it was. I read about this recently, but the person that was supposed to do it was, terrible. Ah, Igor. Hello there. Welcome. Thank you for watching. I once worked with a chap called Igor, actually, when I worked in Plymouth for Royal Mail. He was from Lithuania, I think, but same name. Do you already subscribe to me, or did you just happen upon this per chance? Are you still drinking wine, Maria, or have you succumbed to the cup of water? I mean, Vanessa's already bit the dust. She's gone to bed. Right, I'm gonna change up the music. I'm gonna put a bit of Depeche Mode on. This may get me copyright trouble, but it's got to happen. Where are we? Oh, this is my favourite one. Getting some sound problems. I'm having some big problems with my computer at the moment. Getting the modem is interfering with my sound. I don't know why. I'm sorry, I'll be back in a moment. I need to use the little girl's room. Down to 3, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just spoke to Vanessa. Then there's quite a big delay between when you're typing and I'm seeing it. So yeah, sorry about that. I think I saw an orb. There could be. I mean, I wondered actually when I was in the toilet then, wondering whether a ghost would be captured on film. I don't feel any evil presence here, but you never know. Hey there, girl! Adele's here. Yeah, apologies everyone. So I've just seen your message, Adele. So there is a bit of a delay going on. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. So, yeah, when you write something, in about 2 minutes I'll read it. Right, song suggestions. If you want a song on, I'll fucking play it. I'll probably get copyright strike for it, but who gives a shit? It's just me and you, and who gives a shit, yeah? Oh, it's gone straight on to my next one. I'm a big fan of Depeche Mode, so it's going on to Depeche Mode now. So, but yeah, if you want something else, let me know. Adele is another member of the Bearded Ladies. Is Igor still here? Mitch, are you still here? Vanessa's just gone to bed, so she's gone. I'd say about 15 to a 20-second delay from typing to seeing it on screen. Okay. Okay, 20 seconds from you writing it and then it appearing on this bit here. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's not too bad. Vanessa thought it was more than that, but... Oh, hell. Can't stay too long, I'm afraid. Totally shattered from work. The pub was an insanely busy... Fuck yeah, sorry. Yeah, people are nailing the pub, eh? Was everything alright today? You didn't spill any beers, I hope? By the way, Adele, what time do you want to go to the pub on Tuesday? Because I might have a word with Steve about booking us a table. Any more builders in? You said you had builders in the other day, spilling beers all over the place and being a bit, you know, a bit well. ASMR? You want me to do some ASMR? I'll get a Werther's original out in a minute. Yeah, don't worry, Dow. If you want to go to bed, just go. Nice of you to pop in to say hello. Okay, I'm game for the pub anytime you guys are willing to start drinking. Fuck yeah, baby! Unfortunately, I've got work the next day, but yeah, Vanessa finishes work at 4:30, so I guess we could meet there for 5, maybe, if you fancy it. We could drink for an hour or so and then get a meal or something, maybe. I see. Yeah, that was... I can provide more of that ASMR anytime you like, mate. So far I've had a vodka martini, which is 3 parts vodka, 1 part vermouth. Then we had 2, possibly 3, I can't remember, just vermouth and soda water, 2 Aber ales, and now I'm on a Heine, but I don't think I can go much further than that. Right, this is a song for Mitch. I'm going to play your favourite song, Mitch. Hello. Song request Miami Disco by Perturbator. Okay. I'll do that right after your current favourite song, Mitch. Okay, yeah, I've got it all ready, mate. I know you like a bit of Simply Red. Oh, thank you, Maria. Yeah, I was classically trained in flute. Yeah, boy! When I fall from the top, Oh yeah. Okay. Fuck off. Yeah, boy. Should get a job in a pub. You better believe it, mate. That's continental style. Where's this song from, Mitch? Where's this song from, Mitch? Hell. The only thing missing from this song is a bit of flute. Hotline Miami soundtrack. Ah, yeah, PS Vita game. Has an 80s synth soundtrack. Yeah. I remember that game. I've seen. I don't know if you've shown me that game or I've seen it on YouTube. Yeah, it's like a top-down game, isn't it? Yeah, it's good. I think with this new setup I've got, I could do like gaming and you'd be able to see it. Yeah, that was sweet. Sweet. Oh, it's still good. We've lost a viewer. We've got down to 3. Down to the hardcore. Shout out to Sir Percival. Oh yeah, boy! Fuck off, you bastard! Okay, let's put another track on. Oh yeah. Depeche Mode. I'm going to try an experiment here. I don't know if it's going to work. Let's see what happens. Okay. Can you see what I'm doing? No one. It's understood. I know you can't be, 'cause it's no good. Oof. Okay, I'll leave it there. Could you see that? Did that work? I don't know. I think I might have fucked everything up. You've got it. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Did you see that? Could you see me doing the game, or did it go nuts? Kind of chunder later. Woo! Yeah, that was crack out. Yeah, I switched to like a gaming thing. I was playing crack out for a bit. Watched a Steven Seagal film the other night. His girlfriend, who he met the night before and was 1/4 his mass, said she had to grow a dick metaphorically to survive. Wow. Steven Seagal's made some interesting films over the years. Well, that's weird. Your message, Mitch, has appeared on my screen here, but not on my other thing. His later films are ridiculous. He replied, I think I might have a problem with that, especially if it's bigger than mine. To which he replied, not possible. I think he maybe wrote the script. Undoubtedly. I think Steven Seagal has quite a big say in his later films about how things play out, including how many times he gets hurt during a film involving bullets flying all over the place and knifey spoony all over the place. Invariably, he doesn't get hit once. His later films are a fucking nightmare, but he has done some good ones. Let's not forget Under Siege. That was a great film. What's that one? Nico and Hard to Kill. Yeah, good. But Steven Seagal needs to be reined in, and someone needs to tell him that he shouldn't be making films anymore, because no good. That is such a not possible. Yeah. So Steven Seagal's just walking around with this great big cock. Nah. And his cock's got a black belt. How was when I switched to the Commodore game, how did it look okay, or was it a bit shagged? Don't drink the brandy because I need that to make the cake. His later films invariably involve him in a relationship with a 20-year-old hardbody. It's a bit uncomfortable to watch. Ah, look great, Jim Bob. Okay, good. Well, that's promising. Game worked fine, by the way. Splendid. Okay, that's good. I have to do some live streaming gaming. That'd be nice. My connection keeps cocking up there. Ah, damn it. That's a shame. Yeah, Steven Seagal's definitely got a say in what's going down with his films. I've seen some of those where, yeah, his love interest is like younger than his daughter would be. And he's just fucking massive with a weird, perfectly symmetrical widow's peak. I bet they're funny to watch though. What's that film where he dodges a bullet? Yeah, he's a rogue element, Steven Seagal now. He's all over the bloody place. I watched Jean-Claude Van Damme film the other day, Time Cop. It was kind of ridiculous, but it wasn't that bad actually. I quite like those older films. And it's strange how some of those 90s films look like 80s films when you look back. Two and a half hours in. I'll probably end it at 3 hours, so if you can hang on in there, you're welcome to come along for the ride. If not, don't worry, you may leave anytime you wish. I did the first hour entirely on my own. Although Vanessa was in the other room messaging me to keep it going. Dear of her to do that. Down to 3 viewers. Right, so that's Mitch, the Primrose Fairy, and one other, maybe Deli in the background. So we're down to a family fucking thing here. You fucking right, Maria! Yeah, boy! That's what I'm talking about. Exit wounds, yeah. I think Belly of the Beast when he split an arrow in twain with his sword. I don't think any CGI was required. Of course not. I mean, fucking Steven Seagal was trained in a fucking temple up in the on a fucking mountain in Japan somewhere. I saw something about Steven Seagal back. Yeah, he did. He moved to Japan when he was in his early 20s, I think, and he married a Japanese woman. And I think he lived there for like 2 years, and then he came back to America. But I don't think they ever divorced. I don't think so. God knows what happened. And ever since then, he's been reliving the fantasy of marrying a Japanese woman. I saw one of his films where, again, he was probably pushing 50, and his love interest was, yeah, as you said before, Mitch, maybe 19, at least, something around 19, Japanese girl. Yeah, and he married her. But I think he's probably trying to relive his past fuck-ups. Got Pickle in his ball too. He's here until the end with me. Right, so that means I've got 4 viewers. Maria, Pickle, Mitch and Adele. Fuck yeah. Next level shit. Mitch, when are you moving? Have you got a move date yet? Bear with me. Jesus. Don't hold back on me, Peloton. Fuck off. Oh, in the same film I saw the other night, there was a totally deleted scene where he was speaking to a Japanese woman. He replied to her in Japanese and also happened to mention he speaks Korean too. Of course. Is there anything that Steven Seagal can't do? He is a fucking walking nightmare. Yeah, you speak Japanese. Naturally, you also speak Korean. They are similar languages, in a, kind of. Korean sounds similar to Japanese, but I think a lot of, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of Japanese, well, Japan is ethnically derived from Korea more than China, I think. I might be wrong there. But because similar to the situation in Australia, in some respects, there was a native population in Japan before the Koreans and Chinese came over to Japan. That's the way I understand it. So they have a kind of Aborigine population that were original to Japan before they came, I think. Might be wrong there. House movers grind to a halt at the moment. Tenants still in the property, not sure when they're moving out. Had our survey back with various problems in the house, I might need to renegotiate price. Shit. AKA pain in the fucking ball sack. Shit. Oh, that's a bugger. Sorry to hear that, mate. Bugger. What, are they like squatting there or something, or what? Damn it. Yeah, I mean, if there's problems with the survey, you're definitely going to get, what, structural problems or what? Fuck it, let's leave it. Let's get this head down. Got the bloody munchies. Chipsticks though, they're quite low calorie. This flute eats vape. Nothing major, just hasn't been maintained due to lazy landlord, as usual, indeed. Tenants were given 6-month notice in March, so you might have to wait until September. Okay. That's a bugger. Yeah, so it's legal, it's just, yeah. You'd have thought they'd moved by now, but bugger. Well, I'm not playing that song because I know that is a total no-no in terms of copyright, so they'll just chop that out. Let's do a nice calming song without the fucking advert. Were you? Fuck off. Yeah, it's a wounder, Mitch. Sorry to hear about that. Bugger. Yeah, me and Vanessa are looking for a place. We're inside looking, yeah, but hopefully it's going to be this year, but God knows, you know, what we're going to be able to afford. Because my salary is bleak, to say the least, so going entirely on her, so I don't know what kind of mortgage we're going to be able to get. From crisp to vape to beer. I mean, you can't get better than that. I'm probably going to die soon, but you know, whatever. And that's the bastard thing about landlords, isn't it? The ones that buy to let. They don't really give a shit. They just want to get a tenant in so that they're paying off their mortgage and then some on the side. What we're paying for our rent on this place, we've already looked into it. The mortgage repayments on this place would be way less than what we're paying in terms of rent. So you're fucked. You're Rogered. I think it's such an evil way to make money. And then the whole time you're trying to struggle to save money, paying someone else's mortgage off when you're trying to save money for a deposit on your own place. Evil. Hopefully you'll be fine. Can't tell until you start watching the market and seeing what you can get for your budget. Yeah, I mean, Vanessa likes looking around, but I said just wait, because you know we can't start even looking really for a couple 3 months or so. You know, and if we find a place that we really like and we're not even ready to get a mortgage, then yeah, it's just, so we're gonna wait, see what we can get. I just didn't think I was ever gonna get on the mortgage thing. I just thought rent till you die kind of thing. I've rented for the past, God, 15 years. But I've never had a deposit big enough to be able to buy a place. Hey, Dad, tomorrow? Oh, leaving, of course. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's the big move tomorrow. I sent Bob an email yesterday, but I didn't get a reply. I wondered whether they still had internet. I think he'll be okay. At least they're staying in Cornwall. Dad is a true Cornishman. He doesn't want to leave Cornwall. Who can blame him? I've felt my soul wilting ever since I left. And dance. Oh yeah. Do 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 do. God damn. Okay. Sorry peeps, I'm gonna have to hit the hay. Sorry I can't stay. Oh yeah. Have a good night, y'all. Good night, Adele. See you soon. See you on Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. Have a nice sleep. See you, girl. Okay, Mitch. I'm mid-email, but did wonder if they might not have internet now. Not sure when she'll read it. I've now lived about 25 years in Cornwall, 14 years in Devon, and about to move to Somerset. You're still Cornish, mate. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, where is it actually worked out to? I mean, we had to be born in Plymouth because there weren't any hospitals in Saltash to deliver us into the world. Yeah, that girl. So, you know, strictly speaking, when we slipped out of our mother's birthing canal, we were in Devon, but we spent a good part of our lives in Cornwall. Well, a bloody long time in Cornwall. So, yeah, we're Cornish. For real. Yeah, I left Cornwall. I started living in Plymouth when I was 26, but then I moved back when I was 30 something for a couple of years. So I'm on about 28 years, maybe. So yeah, Cornwall. That's why I try to, whenever I can, drink Cornish ale just to get a bit more Cornish juice in me. Because if you stay in Devon too long, you start, I don't know, you start dying, apparently. It's weird, there's this, I mean, it doesn't exist in our generation, but in older, not maybe our parents, but maybe before that, there's this big antagonism between Cornwall and Devon as opposing counties. I think it still exists, but when I used to work doing the ambulance car work, I would pick up old elderly Devon patients in their 80s or whatever. And when I said I was from Cornwall, they were like, "Oh, Cornwall, you're over here, are you?" There's all of that kind of thing going on. So there's still a kind of weird opposition in certain quarters towards Cornwall. And Devon, I'm sure the same applies in Cornwall. But that's human nature, isn't it? To attempt war at all costs. We're approaching the 3-hour mark. And it's me, Mitch, Maria, and someone else, maybe. Who knows? Straw dogs. You better believe it. Okay, so we got Mitch, we got Maria. Who's the third person? Or is it someone lurking in the background? Who knows? Fucking adverts. What's your Patreon username? Third person is probably me. Got you on TV. But also using my phone to comment. Shit! I haven't got a Patreon, Mitch. As long as I get my kid. Hey. my love, man.
For the rest of my days, I'm simply mayhem. I'm a
Regular monster.
How do you like eggs in the morning? I like mine with a kiss.
Yeah, I ain't got Patreon, Mitch.
I'll never frown.
I don't know what.
Eggs can be almost bliss.
Don't know why. Yeah, you think I've got that?
I get my kiss. How do you like your eggs in the morning? I like mine with a kiss. Well, look.
Uh-oh. Oh, God, sorry. Right, it's time for Norman Wisdom. It's a Norman Wisdom song. I'm joking about Patreon. Okay. Yeah, no, that's not happening, old chum. But if you want to donate to me, feel free. Nice bit of Norman Wisdom. Oh, Norman, no. Never see the sea. Never see the fucking sea. Only fans. Yeah, that's a good possibility, Mitch. I'll get my knob out for 20p. You're not that old. I said you're not that old. Bit of a Norman Wisdom there for the older viewers. Yeah, boy. We all need a little reassurance. But can we get it? Can we, fuck? Oh, we're past the 3-hour mark. Who wants to go to bed? Okay, baby. Yeah, I'll go now as well. Thanks for coming along. You and Mitch. It's been splendid. Yeah, it's because I switched over to someone else. It reset the chat thing for some reason. I'm still getting used to this thing. I'm switching between two different doodads. Yeah, okay, girl. You go to bed, y'all. Mitch, what about you? Do you want to go or what? Yeah, it's because I was off on a different... I've got two different things. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it, Maria. I'll do it again in a couple of weeks or something. You have a nice sleep. I'll see you next Tuesday. I'm eating Morrison's cheese fins. They're not bad. Okay, night then, Maria. Mitch, do you wanna go to bed, or do you want to do something else? Pickle gone back in his house now, so gonna get some sleepy times. Yay, see you for my birthday, innit? Cannot bloody fucking wait. Yeah, boy. Yeah, night, Maria. I'll probably watch the F1 now. It seems like a good time to stop. Cheers, bro. Enjoyed that. Lovely stuff. Okay. Let's go, y'all. See you soon. See you soon, hopefully, Mitch. Okay, I'm going to end it now. Night, night. Oh, good song. Okay. Goodbye, Mitch and Maria. I'm just going to stay for the song. Peppa Pig phone in her toy box keeps going off. I think it might be a poltergeist. Okay, that's the end. Okay, time for bed. It is midnight in the good old England of England. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Apparently there's 2 other viewers. If you want me to keep going, let me know. If not, I'm gone.